After the non-indictment heard round the world, and after buildings were burned and the National Guard was called in, we saw a lot of people instantly get their law degrees from Twitter University and Facebook State. It's amazing how many people who maybe just hours before the decision was handed down, they were experts in quick scoping and super jumps. And they immediately, I don't know how long the bar exam is or how long you have to study, but it just seemed to be instantaneous how everybody just knows the law. Everybody knows for forensics. Everybody knows exactly what happened on that street in Ferguson, Missouri. Everybody knows everything. Everybody's got an opinion. Not too many people listening. I have a lot of people talking. I mean, but that's kind of what people do, I guess. There were a couple of guys that I respect that I had an honest debate with earlier this morning while I was at work. And their Twitter handles and YouTube will be in the description. One of them being Major Pain 1022 and DBL 28. These are guys that I respect, which is why I had to debate with them in the first place. Because if I don't respect you, chances are I'm not following you on Twitter, and I will not respond to what you have to say. I'll just keep it moving. They believe that everything is cut and dry. They believe that the evidence was sufficiently tested, sufficiently reviewed. They believe that the witnesses that gave the testimony, everybody should just be believed at face value. If they're in law enforcement, if they're anybody else, they need to be scrutinized. But then there are people that I've seen on Facebook who feel like anybody who agrees with the jury's decision, with the grand jury's decision, they're an Uncle Tom and a house nigga or whatever. Okay. What I really want to talk about is selective memory, selective fact finding, just selective hearing, selective sight. People see and hear and do what they want, and to hell with whether or not it's actually proven or true. I've seen a lot of opinions that are almost strictly down racial lines. It's amazing. People that think they're part of the racial majority, they feel like it's cut and dry, black and white, nothing else to see, nothing else to consider. For the people who fancy themselves as part of the racial minority, they believe that no matter what the situation is, if a person that looks like them loses their life at the hands of law enforcement, it's always wrong and they're killing our sons and all this other stuff. On one side, the people on the racial majority fail to see the inequities that befall the racial majority and the minority, and the racial minority. They fail to acknowledge the events that led to the death of so-and-so. On one side, they believe, hey, if you don't do nothing bad, nothing will bad happen to you. Completely ignoring all the bad things that law enforcement has done to people who haven't done anything wrong. And then you have the other side that believes that, Sonny Boy was so innocent. Fuck the evidence that shows that they're robbing a convenience store 10 minutes before they're shot and killed, right? Fuck all that. They're innocent, and because they look like me, they need to be spared or whatever. So this is my opinion on it. Many people have looked at all of these situations where it's race versus race in their mind, and they look at it through rose-colored glasses or shit-colored glasses, or however they see the world, and they deliberately ignore the other factors that play a role. Nothing happens in a vacuum. Officer Darren Wilson would not have shot Michael Brown if Michael Brown wasn't there. And people don't seem to understand that. This is not a Trayvon Martin case where a kid was just walking down the street minding his own fucking business. We have a situation where both parties are wrong. But what do we have? We have people on both sides pointing the finger at the other side. You lose if you ignore the truth because it doesn't fit your ideologies.